Formula One season of 2025 seems to be painted in orange at this point in time because after Lando Norris managed to win the Australian Grand Prix for McLaren in Shanghai in the Chinese Grand Prix, just which has concluded now, it is Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris who have managed to win the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. And it was a dominant display from Oscar Piastri, who got his pole position, who just led from the start to the finish, was rarely troubled. He was just having a race of his own. So much so that the broadcasters who were showing that really did not get into that much of action for Oscar Piastri in that sense. Lando Norris, when you look at it, he was fighting a brake issue that was there, but he managed to ensure that he got to his second position. So a first position in Australia compiled with a second position in Shanghai. And McLaren have really made a massive statement of intent. George Russell finished third. Lewis Hamilton has finished in sixth after winning the sprint race yesterday. And four-time champion Max Verstappen finished in fourth position. He had a very strong, when you look at it, race in the second half. In the first half, he was having an issue with Charles Leclerc. He managed to entangle with him and he had some front wing damage. But then after that, he managed to negotiate his way through and managed to ensure that he got to the fourth spot. Yes, it's been a rough ride for Max Verstappen in 2025. He didn't get to a good start in 2020 in the Australian Grand Prix. Even here, he's not gotten off to a good start. And that is why the pre-season favorites were McLaren and the pre-season favorites were either going to be Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri. And that is the main reason why you're going to see the McLaren dominance really step up. It was a race that saw Oscar Piastri hardly troubled. Lando Norris had a bit of a brake issue, but then he managed to recover. The only one retirement that came in the entire race towards the fag end, it was Fernando Alonso in the Aston, where he was struggling for brakes. There was a bit of an intrigue that maybe there could have been a bit of rain later in the race towards the fag end. What you saw in Australia, the chaos that was there might have been some issue with the rain, but that didn't happen. And that is why the McLarens managed to do a 1-2. Finish in first position, finish in second position. Oscar Piastri has managed to win the Chinese Grand Prix, and now it is Lando Norris who's finished second. Max Verstappen's finished in fourth, and his dream of managing 5 consecutive F1 titles, the first to do so since Michael Schumacher, perhaps that might not happen. 2 races, he's already started off badly, and that's why Red Bull have an uphill task. So after Australia, after China, now the race shifts to Japan, and that is why you're going to see plenty of action in this leg itself. The Asian leg has been done earlier. Then after that, you have the European leg, followed by the Americas, followed by the last race, which will happen in Abu Dhabi. This is going to be an action-packed season. And that is why before all the engine regulations and all the other regulations that kick in 2026, one hopes that McLaren can finally win the F1 title after decades. So that is why it's orange right now in F1 in 2025. Lando Norris winning in Australia, Oscar Piastri winning in Shanghai. And that is why the Chinese Grand Prix of 2025 has ended with Oscar Piastri first, Lando Norris second, George Russell third, Max Verstappen fourth, Charles Leclerc fifth, and you seeing that Lewis Hamilton finished in sixth position. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news. And Abhishek Rao was saying, sir, this year Max is not driving at his best. What do you think? I think there are issues with the car. Even last year, those issues were cropping up. Towards the fag end, Abhishek Rawat, if you could see that there were some issues in the middle stages of the 2024 race, which ensured that, yes, it was not going to be easy. But now he has managed to now fall behind, and that is why this season, I think, is going to be McLaren dominated in a big way. And that is why Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari won the sprint race, but I think in the main race, the McLarens are just too strong. And that is why they had the podium. They have dominated the podium 1-2. They have also managed to ensure that they start the season on the ultimate of highs. 2 races, 2 McLaren wins. Let's see how the rest of the season pans out. So thank you so much, folks. The IPL action is going to begin in about 50 minutes time. Bye-bye.